Hey there, it's Kathy with Be Creative with Kathy, and I have a cute little snail card for you today, and let me tell you a little bit about the card. So my team does a swap every month, and for February swap we did a theme, and the theme is kid's birthday or baby card. So I looked at this Snailed It stamp set. I thought that's perfect. That's a cute card. We'll make a kid card for a birthday out of that. And then after I finished my card, I asked myself, I'm not even sure that's like a kid's card. I don't know. And so I decided to do a different card for the swap, and I'll show you that next Friday's video, I believe. I'm going to try to get them out to everybody before I do the video so they kind of get surprised. But next Friday I'll show you that swap. But today I'm going to show you how I did this cute little Snailed It card. And you can tell me if you think if it's a kid card or not. But hey, and also next Friday, before I forget, I'm going to do the drawing for a stamp set. So if you place an order with me before then, I'll put your name in the drawing for a celebration stamp set, and then the first person to contact me after the drawing gets their choice of the first choice, and then the second person to contact me will get the second choice, or whichever way it is. But so you know, that's next Friday I'm going to do the drawing for the stamp set. But let's go on to this card. So then when I'm making my card, here's a little bit of history. When I thought, look, all these little pieces you have to fill, and I thought, wouldn't it be cute to put some of the dies? Let me show you those. I know the stamp set's in the mini catalog on page 55, but I didn't buy the dies. I only bought the stamp set. But look how cute these little mushrooms would have looked on the inside, and maybe some little hearts, or maybe one of these little excuse me, envelopes that the die cuts cut out. But when I bought the stamp set, all I wanted was this little piece right here, and I'll show you how you can decorate the envelope with that after the video. But anyway, let's go on and let me show you how to make the card. So Rhonda Wade showed me this style of card, or this design of card. I don't even know what it's called. Maybe it's called a pop-up, flip-up, I don't know, something card. I really honestly can't decide if I like it. And I think the thing I don't like is this "you snailed it," because can you really snail your birthday? I don't know. Anyway, it's a cute card. I woke up this morning, I decided this is what we're going to make today. So I'm going to quit talking. Let's just start making the card. I think we're going to start by getting all the little pieces and parts ready. And like I said, I told you I didn't buy the the framelits, but thank goodness for my scan and cut, because I went ahead and cut out a bunch of little snails, and now I've colored some of the bits and pieces beforehand. And I want to just talk to you for a minute about the blends. I had someone tell me that they're really struggling with the blends markers, and I just want to tell you, I think the blend marker, especially for a person like me, I have no artistic ability, none whatsoever. I'm pretty crafty, and I can create stuff, so I'm kind of creative, but art-wise, I have no artistic being in my body. But with the blends, that's why I think I like the blends, because it can make it look like I have a little bit of artistic in me. So when you use your blends, just use what they're made for and make it easy on yourself, and you'll get results, I promise. So like, for example, on my little mushrooms here, I took the light and the dark crumb cake. I made sure I colored like the stems and the bottom part of the mushroom top with the darker colors, and then I used the lighter colors on the top. And look at how the shading on that little piece, it looks really nicely done, but I just let the markers do the work. And then on our little snail, for example, I'm going to show you. I'll just color one because I've already colored the other one, so you don't have to watch. And I found out, so let's talk about the points of the marker. So it has the bullet point, which is more like a pen tip, and then it has a brush tip, right? And people ask me, well, which tip do you use? Well, I'll be honest with you. Some markers I use the brush tip, some markers I use the bullet tip. And I don't know if it's the way they were made, I don't know if it's the way that they're stored, I don't know if it's the way that if I've used more. Some colors are darker with the brush or I should say some markers are darker with the brush tip. Some markers are darker with the bullet tip. So I just use whichever tip has the best color at that time, if that makes sense. So I've noticed on my dark crumb cake, the brush tip is a little bit darker, so therefore I use the brush tip. I just took a little bit and highlighted some of those dots that Stampin' Up! Already put on the stamp. Then I'm going to come back in with my light, and here again with my light, I like the brush tip on this marker, so I'm going to use it. And then I'm going to just come in and color the body of my little snail and go right over and kind of blend in, because the alcohol is going to make it so it blends and it doesn't have those brush strokes on there. And color. And usually I like to start with the dark. I put it a little bit, like I said, where Stampin' Up! Has some of the shading already going on, like on his little belly, for instance, these little spots. And then look, I'm going to just do just like that. So you can see I did the same thing on what I call the mama. I don't know if this is the mom and the baby, but in this case, that's what it looks like to me. And I'm going to just go. Now, say, for instance, I think, oh, man, that seems a little light. You can even go back in here and add a little bit more dark. Excuse me. Maybe I want, like, his whole section down here to be darker, and see how that sticks out like a sore thumb. Then you come in, whoops, and I have the wrong tip for this marker, although look, this is going to work too, and just kind of blend that in so you don't have that one dark area. It kind of blends in all together. So does that make sense? So the blends are really fun to use because it makes you look like an artist when, well, in my case, I'm really not. And I think the more you use them, just play around with them. Don't be afraid to lay some ink on there or some color on there. And if you mess up, just come back with the light. In fact, look, I think he needs a little bit more down here on his tail. There, now I think I'm happy. Just lay some color on your paper and see what happens and play with them a little more. Another way to blend is just follow these lines. So like on his shell here, I'm going to just color this line here. And then with the lighter, and on this one I need to use the paintbrush tip. And then I'm going to just come in and color that and blend that in and do it a couple times. And looky there, now how easy on his shell, I just blended that little line in with a little bit of the lighter. And then just because we need some color up here on the envelope, I'm going to just color this in with some Flirty Flamingo. Now, if you want to know what colors I used on my color blends I used, sorry, I can't do two things at once, on my snails, there's a list below on YouTube on the description, or you can go to my blog, Be Creative with Kathy. Just search Snailed It, and you'll find it on my blog, which post that has all the colors of the blends that I used for all of these. The last thing I want to show you about the blends is, and hold on, I put my dark Bermuda Bay away. So for the package here, now I made sure I colored her in advance so she's all dry. The alcohol has evaporated and she's dry on my paper. And then I'm going to come in with, this is the dark Bermuda Bay, and I'm going to use this bullet tip. And I'm going to just decorate the package with a few little spots so it's not just a plain. Now I don't want to make it look like a dice, so I have to be careful that I don't get too synchronized with my dots. But look how cute now her package is right there with the using the blends just to decorate and color those snails. Now, and I don't know if you know this about me, but coloring is not my thing. I don't like to color at all. But there again, that's why I think you need the blends, and it makes it a lot easier. And to me, it looks like nicely done when you use the blends. Okay. So then on our card too, we need, and I've already done a bunch of the work for you, so I'm going to use my 2-inch circle punch. You can't see the 2-inch, but trust me, the 2-inch circle punch and the 2 1/4 inch circle punch. Now using the bigger one, the 2 1/4, I've taken some Coastal Cabana and I've cut out 4 circles. And then using the 2-inch punch, I've cut out 3 of the white circles, and then I want to stamp, and I'm going to use Bermuda Bay here, and that stamp says you snailed it. Oh, and while I get my stamps out, I might as well get the little hello, because I'm going to need that stamp too. We'll put the hello on this block, and we'll put the snailed it on this block. And then just because I want to stamp it and then punch it out, I'm going to just ink up my snailed it. Let me practice one time. Yep, looks good. And I'm going to stamp it here. Set that aside, let that dry for just a second. And with black memento ink, now you noticed I took my little word bubble here, and I've already colored it with the lighter of the pool party, but I want to make sure that it's like set the right way so it looks like she's saying hello, and then I'm going to just stamp my little hello right on top. There you go, on that. And now it wouldn't have mattered, I could have stamped it first and then colored it, and then stamped it. As long as your alcohol blends are dry or the alcohol is evaporated, you could do one way or the other, it doesn't matter. Let's bring back in, I think we're done stamping now. Let's bring this back in with my 2-inch hole punch and punch out that circle of the snailed it. I might like the snailed it now that it's a little bit darker. On my sample card, I used Coastal Cabana, and part of the reason I didn't like it was because it was a lighter color, but maybe now it'll be okay that I stamped it a little bit darker. Okay, I think that we have, nope, one more thing we need. So in my card here, you see this little happy birthday here. Now I've fallen in love with this little die cut, and I use it all the time. And it is part of, let's see, this one here. You know the chicken bundles that are out right now? I love these die sets. They have so much stuff with the fence and the corn and the stump and the chicken wire and the coordinating stamp sets. These are available online only. Well, that's not true. The Hey Birthday Chick is in the holiday. Nope. The mini catalog. There we go. And these are available right now as a bundle online. But I'm going to use that little happy birthday. Bring in my mini machine here and cut that out in red just to give our card a little pop of color here. I have my base plate, which is number 1, one of my cutting pads, which is the clear cutting pad number 2, another clear cutting pad number 3. Run that through my little machine here. Nice and handy, gotta love the little machine. Whoop, lots of noise. All done. Where you go? Let me put this back. Oh, I put my dies too far away. I hope I can find that later. But let's get rid of all those little pieces here. Oh, I keep forgetting I changed my tip of my take a pick tool to my stylus, and I haven't changed it out, but I keep forgetting. So now my poker tool, or whatever you call it, is itty bitty because I need to put it back in the handle of my take a pick tool. But now I have the best of both worlds because I still have a little piercing tool and I have a stylus. So who knows, maybe I'll leave them as is. But there, now I have my little birthday. So let's start assembling the card. I have a piece of thick basic white, which is going to be my card base. It's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I'm going to just fold along that score line, just a basic card base. I have a piece here of just plain basic white. This is not thick. It could be thick, but I think the thinner, because the card is so thick as it is, I use the thinner, and that way, well, maybe we can shut our card, but trust me, not all the way. And this is scored, well, first of all, it's a piece 11 by 1 inch, and I scored it at 2 3/4, 5.5, and 8 1/4. So it just accordion folds just like that. And I'm going to take, and I think I'm going to use some liquid glue. We'll see. I haven't used it yet today, so if he doesn't cooperate, we'll just get the snail or the CO Plus. Oh, look, he's going to cooperate. So we're going to just put a little bit of liquid glue on one end of this strip of paper, and then I'm going to glue it to the top. Try to get it centered. I'm not going to measure it or anything. I'm just going to eyeball it and say it's close. Try to get it straight. Apply some pressure, make sure it's good and stuck down, and then close that up and put some more glue on here. And then close the card. Apply some pressure, make sure it's nice and stuck down. Put this away. And then when you open your card, it looks like that. So then you have that little opening like this. Now, like I said, Rhonda Wade showed me this card, and when she made hers, she used the playful pets and some hearts, and it was adorable. So if you want, well, I'll see if I can't find Rhonda's link, but you can find Rhonda Wade on YouTube and see her video there. Sorry, I had a little bit of glue there I had to get off. But so far it looks like that. Then we're going to take these circles and attach the white circles to the Coastal Cabana. And I probably should have done a little bit of this ahead of time, but I'll quickly. So I have my Snailed It. And then this one will be for the birthday. This one will be for Junior here. And this one will be for the mushroom. Let's go ahead and take the mushroom. Well, come on, it's tape. There we go. I think it might have been the user on that one and not necessarily that tape runner. But put my little mushroom there. And this guy, I'm going to put him flat because it's the inside of the card. Lay him right there. And we're going to decorate him with these resin heart embellishments. I'm going to just take one of these and lay it right here on that envelope. And then to snazz this one up, I'm going to just take a couple of my little hearts here and maybe there, like that. Okay. Then, now just making sure it's up and down, I'm going to lay, and I'm going to use CO Plus on this one. You could also use the liquid glue, but one strip of tape like that, and it tends, where do I want this one? I think I want this one right here. I'm going to lay him this time. I think this right here. So I only have tape down the center. Lay him there. And then my Snailed It, making sure I just go down the center. And with that Snail Plus, went flying, one strip of tape holds it down really nicely. And we're going to take Junior here, and I'm going to use a little bit more tape because he's going to go at the top. Lay him up here. Oh, no, I'm not ready to lay him on there. Whew, I almost messed up. Let me back up a little bit, because now here I have a piece of Designer Series paper that is 3 inches by 4 inches. We got to decorate the front and put the ribbon before we put Junior here on our card. Now I like to use a 3-inch by 4-inch piece of Designer Series paper for the front of my card, and then you get a lot of Designer Series paper. So on a 6 by 6 piece of paper, you actually get 2 card fronts out of 1 sheet. And a 12 by 12, I don't even know how many off the top of my head, but you get a lot more with no waste. Now on the 6 by 6 though, you have this little strip, and this is 1 inch by, well, probably 6. But I'm going to take this because it was a piece of that Designer Series paper left over, and I'm going to just set it right here at the bottom. And what I mean is left over, so when you cut your 2 pieces of 6x4, you have a 2-inch strip left over. I cut this in half, used one on my sample card and one on this card, and then there's no waste with your 6x6 designer series paper. I hope that made sense. But I'm going to take this piece now and lay this on the front of my card. Does that look straight? That right there looks good. Now, using the Pool Party sheer ribbon, I'm going to just tie a simple knot. And now the reason I had to put my paper down first was because I had a plain spot right here on my card, and now the knot of the ribbon helps to fancy that up a little bit. And then it didn't look quite so empty in that corner. Where I want it, just a simple knot right here. Looks pretty good. Trim that ribbon. There, now doesn't that look cute? Okay, now that I have my ribbon in there, now I can put Junior down here at the top. And you noticed I made sure that my ribbon is where I want it here, because the tape on the back of Junior here is going to hold it into place. So now it looks like that, and holds my ribbon, whoops, sorry, I'm out of camera, holds my ribbon right where I want it. So since we're at it, let's go ahead and finish the top. I'm going to take, or the front, not the top, the front of my card, and the couple dimensionals. And I'm going to put a couple dimensionals on the back of my word bubble and Mama. And set her down. She's going to help hold that ribbon down too. Set her about here. And then make it so my hello is pointed toward her. Cute. And then the last thing we need to do is just take a little bit of liquid glue and glue that happy birthday. Although really it just dawned on me this isn't the last thing. We have one more step after this to make the card just pop and have a little bit of character. But a little bit of glue on the back of my happy birthday. It doesn't take much. It doesn't have to be perfect. But I'm going to lay that right there. And then making sure, oh no, it can be covered all over. A little bit of plus. And lay this here at the bottom. Now really the nice thing about this is that after you have that strip of cardstock down here, your happy birthday and Junior up here, you almost hide all the seams of that white piece that you've glued on the inside, but yet you'd still have room to write your sentiment here and there. So then the last thing that we need to do is we need to give Junior and Mama over here some character. So I don't know if you remember these. These were Stampin' Up! Sold googly eyes back, I don't even know how long ago. They had this monster set, and I have a couple left over. But if you need googly eyes, these are 6mm googly eyes, and I'm going to find 4 of them in here. I think there's still 4 left. Let me see. Now watch, now that I'm on camera, I'm not going to be able to find them. There's 2. Let's start with that. I'm going to put a little bit of glue here on her eyes. Just a dab here and a dab here, and let that set for just a minute. Because when Tombow liquid glue dries, it's still sticky, but it won't gush out. So I'm going to let it dry for just a minute while I find my eyeballs. And there's all 4 of them. Like I said, these are 6mm, and I believe those are the last out of that pack. And then I'm going to just set her eyes right here. Come Come on, glue, dry so I can, there we go. Hold those down for just a second. And then I'm gonna do the same thing with Junior in here. I'm gonna just take a little bit of glue. Pick up that eyeball. And this one too. Nope. Maybe I am. There he is. Maybe I can, oh, they're big enough. You don't need to take a, oh man, I should, now I got glue on the front. I should have used my take a pick tool to put it down. Anyway, live and learn. So I'll do what not to do so you can learn from me. There we go. Let's hold those down for just a second. Let them dry, or at least set. And now look, there's my card. So what do you think? Do you think that looks like a birthday card for a kid? The little googly eyes do help. After I woke up this morning and looked at it, I think it's a really cute card. But you'll have to come back next Friday and see what I decided for my swap card. It's a totally different card, totally different stamp set. So thanks for watching. Hey, and last but not least, so if you place an order in February, I usually send out a thank you card, but this month I'm gonna send out a make and take. So you can make your own card. I'll put the link below. I have a video of how I made my card, but it's a slimline card with the hearts thinking of you. And so when you place your order, everybody will be put in for the drawing for the stamp set, and I'll be sure and send you a make and take instead of the thank you card. Thanks for watching, and if you ever have any questions or comments, be sure and reach out. I'll see you next Monday about 1:30. Bye-bye.